Good morning everybody, my name is Crystal and welcome to my YouTube channel. It's Sunday morning. Good morning, I hope everybody had a great Saturday and now it's Sunday and the sun isn't out this morning, it's early, I've got up early anyway, but it's still quite warm. I've just been outside cleaning up my balcony because Harry, my ginger tomcat, has just decided to play with my plant pots and he's tipped them all over and knocked the earth all over the floor. So I've just been outside with the dustpan and brush sweeping up the earth that Harry has tipped over. He is a big cat and I don't think he realises how big he is, so when he jumps it sounds like a great big thud and a big crash. He is big. I love him though, I love him to bits, I love all my pets to bits. Elderly cat called Nikki, she just needs an extra bit of care. Max is no trouble at all. You'd think a dog would make more mess than a cat, but not in this case. The cat makes more mess than the dog does. Oh, it's so hot this morning. Alexa, good morning.
Good morning. If waking up is a challenge, think of Erdem Eruch, who completed the first solo human-powered circumnavigation of Earth on this day in 2012, after 5 years of rowing, hiking, and cycling. I'm glad I have a cloud to take me places.
Alexa, what's the time, please?
The time is 7:50 a.m.
Alexa, what's the date today?
It's Sunday the 21st of July.
Alexa, what's the weather outlook?
Right now in Rochester, it's 19 degrees Celsius with mostly cloudy skies. Throughout the day, you can expect more of the same, with a high of 23 degrees and a low of 13 degrees.
Alexa, can you tell me a joke? Alexa, can you tell me a joke? Alexa can't hear me from over here. Alexa, can you tell me a joke?
Why did Spider-Man pick his nose? To get rid of the Green Goblin.
Oh, Alexa, whose birthday is it today?
Today's famous birthdays include Norwegian Association football player Erling Haaland, American actor and producer Josh Hartnett, Enrique Felipe, Argentine footballer and manager Marcelo Bielsa, and English actress Juno Temple.
Right guys, good morning everybody. Just sat here. Now I'm going to have my cup of Nescafe caramel latte coffee. So, it's just in this heat, keeping cool really. Had the fans on last night. Just like one sheet over me when I go to bed, because I do like to cover up even when it's hot. So, last night, I said keeping cool. So, on and off watching the television I was last night. So I watched, I think it was The Four Feathers on Talking Pictures TV. So I watched that, The Four Feathers. I remember watching that with my ex-husband years ago, in the 90s I think. So I watched that. And then I watched A&E, and they tell stories, like you see the person come into A&E from start to finish, and there was a sad one about this guy's dad who died, but you know, it's real life, and it shows you, like when they come in, if they've had a motorbike accident, a car accident, or they've had like heart problems. And this old man had an aneurysm, and it had burst and it was fatal, so they needed to sort it out. And when he went in, he was a really, really big fella, and all his face was red. He managed to get through the operation. He was in his 70s anyway. I think he was 77 when he had the operation. He survived for a few years afterwards, but you can see why he was red in the face. When he had the operation, his face went back to normal, and he lost all this weight off of himself. So he lived for a few years afterwards, but his son was with him all the way, his son. And there was this Asian guy that his son had it was a motorbike accident, and he was in hospital, and his dad had split up with his mother. The single Asian dad had brought up the two boys, and you just saw things from start to finish, and it's nice. So I watched that, and then I just I went to bed afterwards. So it was about just gone 12 midnight, and I just went to bed. For the past 2 weeks, I'd been on and off FaceTiming this fella I'd met off at Meet Me, and I was actually at one point really searching to find a nice decent fella to just like go out with, and just a normal relationship. And what I'm finding now is, I mean, this was an older bloke. It wasn't as if it was a young lad. This guy said he was 57, and he just wanted me to show my boobs. And I thought, right, why is an older man acting like this? Why is an older guy acting like this? And why every time I try and meet somebody, do they all turn out to be the same, like gropey, or they want to see my boobs? And getting fed up with it, so I've actually logged out of everything. And it's a shame, because I've got a lot to give, a lot to share, and why do all men have to turn out to be gropers and want to look down my bra? I don't understand that. I was also watching something on YouTube that was saying that a lot of women now feel unsafe to walk the streets, especially at night, because men are coming up to them and putting their arms around them when they don't know them, and they're coming up to them and saying, "Hey, beautiful," or and trying to get off with women they don't know. Not in clubs. These women are just walking down the streets, making their way home, or they've lost contact with their friends and they're trying to find them, and they're getting men coming up to them, making suggestions. So a lot of women, there was one woman that was attempted to be raped, coming home from work at night, and she was just coming home from work in the evening. And you know, a lot of women are just acting like that is the norm, that is what's going on, and that's what's happening. There's a lot of aggression as well, and violence towards women at the moment. So a lot of women do feel unsafe and afraid. So I don't know what's going on in the world right now, but just a woman's safety from walking from a job to a home. It's all over the place, all over the regions and the areas of the country. It's just not one place. So they were talking to a member of the Labour government, saying, what are you going to do about this issue, women's safety, like when they're coming home from work and things like that. and she said it's about educating men, educating them. So I don't know what that means. I just think the world is a nasty place at the moment. It's very violent, it's very aggressive, people are angry, and you can see why they're angry, because the rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer, the cost of living still hasn't gone down, people's wages aren't going up, people are working for hardly anything, they can't afford to feed their families. And you know, if the cost of living's going up and wages and benefits aren't going up, people are struggling to just eat, and they're getting angry. So I went online, and you know how you just Google things, you Google them, and I thought, I can't be the only woman that's having a problem on dating sites, meeting men that are just asking you to show your bits and pieces. So I Googled it, you know, guy on dating site wants me to show my boobs, and it came up with loads of women that have gone through the same thing, and each one of them advice to these women were, block the guy. A bloke that's interested in you in a person doesn't ask you to show your boobs. And I blocked this guy, and it's sad, it's just sad, the state of the world, that people don't want to make an effort to meet each other anymore face to face. They want to sit. On one occasion he was sat there, and he had his Xbox, and this is a 57-year-old guy, and he was paying more attention to the Xbox than he was to me. And he was watching the telly while he was talking to me, right? So it's a cop-out, isn't it? Rather than actually physically meet someone, he wanted to sit there, play his games, watch the telly, and then just have me in the background. And I felt awful, and I've obviously put a stop to it, but it's a shame. It's virtual, isn't it? A cop-out, having an online relationship with a woman while you're sat there, and you don't have to make any physical effort, you don't have to buy her any flowers, you don't have to help her cook, wash up, you just sit there and ask her to take her clothes off. And they call it wank material. They're just after wank material, you know, so that they can pass it around their mates as well. Pass the dirty pictures around their mates. And what was concerning me is this guy was talking to younger men. He went out to meet a younger man, and he said, I've shown him your picture. Not a rude one, it was just in my face. He went, I've shown him your picture. And that did concern me. Whether he was talking to me for himself, or he was talking to me on behalf of somebody else. And the way I was being treated was just not on. So he's blocked. And I just think that that's it. I think since COVID, people have got lazy, and they can't be bothered to meet anybody the right way. We got used to Zoom calls, didn't we? Probably WhatsApping each other, and well, that's it. So that it's he's got family. That guy that was doing that to me had family. He was going here at the weekend, going there another weekend. He had loads of family and mates, which I haven't got. So he was just using me. wank material. Come to terms with that now. I think he was also trying to frighten me at one point, and that didn't work because I've been going through this for years now, and that's it. And there must be a lot of big-chested women out there that go through the same as me. People, men ogling your tits and trying to grab your boobs and making suggestions about your boobs. And I mean, I wouldn't dream of going up to a bloke and saying, show us a picture of your cock, get your cock out, and then start touching the bloke's cock. So why do some men feel the need to have to touch women's boobs, make a laugh and a joke out of them, and do that? So today, I mean, I've spoken to my mum yesterday. She told me that she's not very well, so I'm letting my mother have a rest. A rest. That's what I'm letting my mum do. She doesn't, you know, and I'm getting on with my life. I can do my own washing, I can cook my own food, and I can get my own shopping. My mum's got someone doing her shopping for her. Someone comes in and sees she's okay. So that's it for now. I'm just waiting for my bank card to come through, hopefully next week. Hopefully. But that's what happens when you get older. Your parents get older. I've lost my dad. My mum's elderly. You lose contact with your kids. They move away, which is you know, you want your kids to grow up, fly the nest, get on with their lives. But when you get older, this is what you face. You lose people you've loved, and then you realise that you're getting older as well, and people start drifting away, and you're left on your own. You can't go back. You can't, that Cher song, if I could turn back time. You can't turn back time. You can only learn from your mistakes. And unfortunately, I mean, if I had known what was going to happen in my marriage, there's certain things I couldn't stop in my life. I couldn't stop my father abusing me. I couldn't stop that. Nothing I could do about that. I was a kid. I've come to terms with that. I couldn't stop him mistreating me right up to the age of 18. Couldn't stop that, right? And there's a lot of things I couldn't stop. I don't control the police. I couldn't, you know what I mean? I couldn't do anything that I couldn't help. So I really can't see how I could stop what happens, but I can't understand what is preventing me from meeting decent people, and why that's happening, and what is stopping me, why I cannot move forward from this abuse. But it always comes down to money. If I had money, I could find a decent therapist, a decent psychiatrist that could work me through what has happened in my life. So I have to do it myself, and it's a slow process, but I cannot get past this brick wall which prevents me from this social anxiety that I suffer caused by how I was treated as a kid, but I will keep at it. I will keep trying. So I hope everybody has a great Sunday, and I'll see you later.